Today we're out on the range with my new P320 Xcompact with a Romeo1 Pro, and we're going to take a few shots with it now. Apparently I can't hit that one. Clearly I can't hit that one. Let's try some of these ETS mags. I had some problems with them in my full-size P320, so we'll see what they do in here. Yeah, hit it anyway. Put a few on Mario. That ETS mag ran fine. Let's run a magazine of my carry ammo through it. I bought some Hornady Critical Duty 135 grain. It's a 9mm plus P. So let's run a magazine through it and make sure it functions. And I haven't shot any of this through it. What I've been shooting has just been some Federal 115 grain bulk ammo. You definitely feel that's a little hot. Well, that seemed to work pretty good. See, this is a 17 round mag out of my 320. And perfect. Now, the other ETS mag. These are 17 round ETS mags. They're still a little snug going in this one too. Let's put some on the headshot on that silhouette. Let's put one. These mags work flawless this time. Like I said, the first video I had a little bit of trouble with them, but they informed me to leave them loaded for a few days and it would fix it, and it seemed to help it, so there's that. Alright, well, I'm going to go load up some more magazines and we'll shoot it some more. definitely not in tight enough. There we go. Well, I gotta get a magazine pouch that fits these. My Glock one they just were falling out of, so. And I had it tightened down as far as it would go. So I have to use my pocket, and it's not ideal. Put one on the nose. There we go. Another ETS mag running fine. This little gun is a blast to shoot. So let's take it inside. Let's go over some of the specs of it. I'll compare it in size to the Shield, the Glock 19, maybe something else. But we'll see you in there. So I picked up this P320 Xcompact earlier this week, and I did get it at Sports World Tulsa, so go check them out. Now I got the Xcompact, not the RXP model with the dot included on it, because that's, of course, out of stock everywhere. And I actually went in there to buy the 365 XL with the Romeo 0 on it, and that's out of stock, and probably ain't going to be in stock till sometime mid-July, so I hear. And those dots for the micro pistols, or whatever you call them, they're just nowhere to be found, any brand of them right now, hardly. So I ended up going with this, and bought the dot separately, and they actually stuck the dot on for me. But so far, I really enjoy shooting this pistol. It's a great little pistol. The optic's really nice. But let's go over some of the features of the pistol. So with the Xcompact, you get two 15-round mags with it, and you get a nice little plastic hard case. Now here's the sight. It is a night sight. This is what was originally on the back, the plate and sight. And then, of course, you get your SIG sticker, your manual, your lock, and your chamber flag. And that's pretty much all it comes with. As far as the features and the specs on the Xcompact goes, well, you'll notice first thing it has the X grip, of course, which has a nice undercut on it. It's a very comfortable grip on it. And it also has the X Series flat trigger on it. I'll check, make sure it's clear. And this trigger breaks right at 4.5 pounds, and it breaks right at 90 degrees also. I'll try to show you the reset here. Reset is right there. So, it's a really nice trigger on it. You very easily shoot accurate with that. Now the serrations on the slide front and rear are both a little more aggressive than what's on the standard 320. So that's pretty nice. It has the X-ray front sights, of course. Now it has an overall length of 7 inches, an overall width of 1.3 inches. The overall height is 5.3 inches, and of course that is without the red dot on it. Has a barrel length of 3.6 inches. It does have the M1913 rail up front, and it's a nitron-coated stainless steel slide. Now, as far as disassembly, it's the same as every other P320. You don't have to pull the trigger or anything. You just pull the slide back, lock it to the rear, flip your takedown lever down, push it forward, put your guide rod and barrel out, and your field strip there. Now, to change the, or to put this, take the, let me get this right. Now, to get the sight plate off, you've got 2 little screws right down in here. Now one of them is blocked by this plunger, so you have to take the rear plate off and pull the plunger out and extractor out. And then you can get to it and unscrew it, and then you can mount your optic to it. And one other little thing when you're putting it back together, this guide rod has 2 flat sides on the rear of it. Now that goes, they go up and down like this. So the flat goes with the side of the slide, or it won't assemble the other way. And of course it is a modular pistol like all the other 320s. You just pull this out and you can pull your whole grip frame out. Or your fire control unit out of your grip frame, I guess that's to say. And to put it back together, just that simple. I forgot to mention the unloaded weight on this, with a magazine installed, is 25.85 ounces on my scale. Okay, now we'll get into the Romeo1 Pro a little bit. And some of the features of it. Now it does have the steel shroud around it. It's aluminum housing with actual glass lens. Now the battery is on top. It's a CR1632 battery. You can change it without pulling the optic. You've got your windage and elevation screws there. You've got your brightness level adjustment buttons, and those will also, you can hold either one of them down to power it on and off. Now this is a 3 MOA version. They offer it to 3 MOA or 6 MOA. Now, whenever you buy this, it comes in a nice box here. See if we can get it open and see what all it comes with. You've got your instruction manual, of course. Protective foam. You've got a little Sig Sauer cleaning cloth for the lens. You've got your protective hood here for it if you want to put that on there. Doesn't fit real snug, but it'll be in this box for the rest of the time I own it, I promise you. And then you've got your little Torx wrench to tighten it down on the slide. And you've got this, which they say goes on a keychain, and it has your screwdriver to replace your battery. And if you pull this out, if I can get my thumb on it, maybe. This screwdriver will adjust your windage and elevation. And then right in here, you've got an extra battery storage. So this comes with that little tool. Pull this back in the box real quick. Now, as far on this optic as co-witnessing goes, with this notch in the back and your factory x-ray sight, the front side is a little too short to co-witness at all with it. I was co-witnessing with it, and I'm going to insert that video right now. And as you can see, it's shooting about 6 to 8 inches too high from where I'm aiming, point of aim, point of impact. That's with the dot off. So I'm going to order the .300 front night sight for it, and that should correct it. I did some measuring with a caliper, and that looks like we're about where it needs to be to line up with this. Now, as far as lights go for this, I originally thought I would put my Olight PL Mini on it that I had on my Glock 19, and had all intentions of it. And as you can see right here, it will not work. It is not long enough for it. So I ended up looking online, and there's only 2 lights that I could find that would fit it. And that was either the Olight PL Mini 2 or the Streamlight TLR7A, or TLR7, either one. And I like the Olight really well. I like the way it charges, so I went ahead and ordered this Olight for it. And I actually ordered it off Amazon because they're a lot faster shipping. But you can see it lines up perfectly with it there. So that is how I will carry it. And I don't know if anyone's making holsters. I made my own for it. I actually made me a couple now for it, to carry it with the Olight on it, because not just everybody's making the Olight holsters for all the guns. But now let's compare it to some other guns. We'll start with the Glock 19. Everybody's favorite gun. Set it right there on top of it. As far as the height goes, it's pretty much identical in height. I mean, minus the optic. Let me pull this light off of it before we go comparing. But you can see the barrel. It is a little shorter there on the nose of it with the lever tails lined up. Now I do have the bigger grip on this because I have huge hands. But you can see it's considerably smaller in the long run. It's just a little bit bigger on the top, but as far as height overall, it's the same exact height pretty much. I'll let you see the width there. I don't know what the width is, but the Glock does look a little thinner. I didn't measure it, but it definitely does look a little thinner there. Now, let's compare it to a full-size P320. You can see it's way smaller than the full-size in every way. Now, my other carry gun, and like I said, I'm replacing the Glock 19 and this gun as my everyday carry gun with this gun. That's all my intentions of it. And you can see it's bigger than the Shield. The height is actually about the same, minus the dot, with the 8-round magazine in it. But it's definitely a little longer, and the Shield is definitely thinner than it. But let's see. Let's compare it with one more, my Polymer 80 that has the hollow sun on it. You can see how much wider the gun, you can see how much wider the optic is than the gun here. And you can see the hollow sun's almost the same width as that Glock. So it's got a lot bigger window on it. See there? But height-wise, it's a little bit taller, optic and all. And of course, lengthwise, it's longer. Now, as far as shooting it, since I've had it, I've ran about 375 rounds to it total, including some Federal 115 grain bulk, some Federal 124 grain, and some, what else was it? Oh, some Winchester white box, and I think that was also the 115 grain. And then I ran 25 rounds of the critical duty through it, a full box of it. It was 135 grain plus P. And everything I ran through it cycled perfectly. The gun had 0 malfunctions whatsoever. And it's just so enjoyable to shoot. It shoots like a much bigger gun than what it is, really. The only complaint I even have with this gun, and I could have fixed that by being patient and bought the RXP model, is that it doesn't have the rear sight dovetailed in and the taller front sight included. I think they should have at least, I mean, I can understand them not including the taller sights, but I wish the rear sight was at least dovetailed in. That is one thing I will say that I wish it did have. But other than that, I really, really love the gun. Like I said, it just shoots great. If you have any experience with the Xcompact or the Romeo1 Pro, make sure you leave it in the comments below. I'd really like to hear from some people that have had it a little bit of time and just know how well they're holding up and such. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you think someone else will, share it out. Now that really helps. And if you think I've earned it, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.